Stuart here. Today we're at one of our trial sites, our legume trial sites, as part of our project at Calliope. This site has been fallowed for about 12 months, and the owner cultivated it up fairly recently, actually only the last couple of days, for the final working before we plant. So we're here today to plant this site with our new legumes. Just wanted to show here that the soil has been well worked up, and it's a fine seed bed, which is ideal to plant into, but it's quite loose. It's actually too fluffy. And so what we're doing before we plant, we're going to roll the whole site here to reduce that fluffiness and to get a firm seed bed rather than a loose seed bed. And we're using this machine here today, which is a flange roller, or one brand name is a Cambridge roller. So we're tying behind our small little Kubota tractor here. But the idea of the roller is that it basically, again, as I said, compacts down this fine sort of seed bed here, and that's actually it's actually too loose to plant into. And my rule of thumb is that if you walk across a paddock that's been cultivated and you're leaving footprints as I am here, it's too loose to plant into. Too loose being that there's too much air in it, and so when you put your seed on top, being pasture seed, very small seed, you can't plant it at any depth. We're going to put it on top, but there's a lot of air in there, and so when it rains next, it's going to take a lot of rain to wet that back up again and to get good seed soil contact. So we roll the soil, and you can see we've rolled a couple of runs here already this morning to see how that goes. And so as you see here, it's quite loose. I'm actually making some quite big tracks with my boots. But as we come over here to where it's just been rolled a single time, it's much firmer, and it's pretty much actually an ideal seed bed to plant into. So the mantra is fine seed bed, but firm. And this is what this is. It's fine and it's firm. Whereas over here where it hasn't been rolled, it's definitely fine. It's pretty much right to go from that regard, but it's not firm. It's quite loose. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to roll this site first. Then we're going to broadcast out our seeds in our plots, and we'll come back and actually roll it in again to give a bit more compaction, or to reduce our fluffiness a little bit more, but to also roll the seed into the soil to get really good seed soil contact. The flange roller, as you can see, makes it look like a tin roof. So when it rains, the water can accumulate in those furrows there, which is a good thing. But by rolling it after planting, we're still not, the seed ends up in a perfect depth. It's not too deep, not too shallow. It has good seed soil contact for optimum germination when the rains do come to wet up that top profile that's just been cultivated. So this soil type here is it's a loam soil. It's been fully cultivated up. Quite a short fallow, really only about 3 or 4 months, but worked a couple of times. But since the last working, the site here has had a lot of rain, probably 100 mils of rain. And the soil type here, being loam soil, has settled quite nicely, but it's actually almost too firm to plant into now. As you can see here, the soil is quite firm, but it's not really fine enough to get a good seed soil contact. So we've got the firmness, but not the fineness. So what we're doing here with this trial site, before we plant, we're going to roll this roller over the whole site to try and get some tilth, I suppose, and actually make it a bit crumblier, a bit finer, not hard setting like it is. So when we broadcast out the seed will find a niche and some soil to germinate in. So again, as you can see here, this soil here, the walk over it is very firm. It's in a quite hard setting at the moment. As we come over here where we've rolled, you can see here how there's a little bit more tilth there, a bit more fineness. And when the seed gets dropped onto there and we roll it a second time, we'll have a much better seed bed, a much finer seed bed for far better seed soil contact and better germination.